Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to Astana Al-Maikia with another presentation from the classes of criticism. Today we will be talking about Aristotle. Aristotle was a great Greek philosopher who was the disciple of Plato and who, in his pursuit of philosophy and in terms of defining literature, especially defining poetry, went against his master Plato. When Plato criticized poetry as a servile copy or a sort of an imitation, Aristotle declared poetry as an art of creation and told the world for the first time that artist, the poet, is a creator himself. Thus, poetry is not a servile copy. And when someone had asked Aristotle that on what basis he had defied to his great teacher and mentor, Aristotle had beautifully replied that Plato is Plato, but truth is sweeter than Plato. So this gentleman, we find him taking birth in 384 before Christ at Stagira in Greece, and then we find him traveling to Athens, where he loved to be the disciple of Plato. He joined the Academy of Plato, became his one of the most favorite and most loving scholar and student, and then after completing his education, after quenching his thirst from Plato, he later on tutored Alexander the Great. After Alexander the Great, he once again returned back and opened his own school on the footprints of Plato. We know Aristotle in different introductions, but our concern here is his contribution in literary criticism. And in the field of literary criticism, we have his masterpiece, the Poetics. The Poetics is a masterpiece in which he beautifully defines poetry, especially the dramatic poetry. We find in this work the definition of tragedy. We find in this work the essentials and characteristics of tragedy. And in this Poetics, we find Aristotle for the first time talking about catharsis, the purification and purgation of emotions through the arising of pity and fear as the function of tragedy. So with this treatise on his part and on his credit, we have introduction of Aristotle as a critic. Poetics is not a voluminous work. It's a very small work, but it has great significance attached to it. Poetics, this is a work of I think more about 46 or 47 pages. It's not a voluminous work, you must keep it in mind. So one can learn poetics by heart easily, and the language that has been used in it is very much attractive. For the student of literature, it's just like the Bible, and understanding poetics to its essence is tantamount to understanding entire literature. Poetics is divided into 6 parts, and it is divided into chapters. The first part, that is divided between the chapter number 1 and chapter number 5, deals with the introductory remark on poetry. It classifies poetry, and here for the first time we come to know that poetry that again goes towards drama can be classified into tragedy and comedy. And part 2, that comprises of chapter number 6 to chapter number 19, Aristotle tries to define tragedy. We find the definition of tragedy in this part, and we also find the essential elements, essential ingredients, the formative elements of tragedy discussed in detail in this part. The third part of the Poetics comprises from chapter number 20 to 22, means comprising of only 3 chapters. We find the discussion regarding poetic diction, style, vocabulary, the use of words, the choice of words. Okay, means what is the standard of language, because in Aristotle's definition of tragedy we have important element of language. He focuses on, he emphasizes upon using embellished language. So in this chapter, in this part, he discussed this vocabulary. The fourth part that starts from chapter number 23, and based on this chapter, it's all about narrative poetry and tragedy once again. The fifth part, in fifth part, we find Aristotle talking about epic and brief, and the comparison between epic and tragedy. Because before Aristotle, we find Homer as a great epic writer. The tragedy started with the arrival of Aeschylus, Euripides, and Sophocles. And let me tell you that for Aristotle, the standard of tragedy was the tragedies of Sophocles and Aeschylus. Okay, so if we sum it up, Aristotle seems to be the first systematic scientific critic in English literature, who does not only presents the critical views but sets rules, sets standards, and then tries to define things in their proper style and in their proper formation. Poetics is a world-renowned document for the students of literature. Though it is not a voluminous work, yet voluminous works have been written in explaining poetics. The rest of the critics we will see be following the footpath of Aristotle. Whenever the tragedy will be discussed, let me tell you as a student of literature that it will be started from the definition of tragedy given by Aristotle. So in our next video, we will be talking about the definition of tragedy as presented by Aristotle, and we'll see that what constitutes tragedy, what is Aristotle's concept of tragedy, what's Aristotle's concept of catharsis, what's Aristotle's concept of hamartia, because for the first time we see that hamartia being discussed, and what are the constituents or what are the formative elements that make tragedy, and what is the standard of tragedy, or what are the qualities and prerequisites of tragic hero according to Aristotle. Thank you for watching this video. I invite you all to subscribe our channel and keep on watching the videos related with literature. Thank you very much.